Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my Locals Retro for week 1 of the OP12 Meta. It's a new meta, and of course, I am back on Green Yellow Yamato. I'm really excited to be testing out some new builds with some of the new cards from OP12, so let's go over to the deck list. As usual, I'll just be highlighting some of the key cards and strategies for this overview, but if you'd like me to go into a full deck list breakdown sometime, let me know in the comments below. Here is the first Green Yellow Yamato deck list that I wanted to test for this first week of OP12. It's nothing too crazy. I took the final deck list I settled on for Green Yellow Yamato back in week 5 of OP11 and made a few replacements for some new OP12 cards. So because the core of the deck list is pretty much the same, I'm just going to be focusing on the new OP12 cards that I'm testing in this deck list for this overview. However, if you'd like to hear more about the rest of the deck list, please go check out my videos from week 5 of the OP11 meta, where I go over the deck list and have some gameplay with it. Now, let's talk about what I added from OP12. The first card that has to be talked about is Demon Aura, 9-sword style, Ashura, Blades Drawn, Dead Man's Game, or just Dead Man's Game / DMG for short. This card is absolutely insane. Dead Man's Game is a green, 1-cost event with the Straw Hat Crew typing. Its ability says, main, you may rest 3 of your Dawn cards, rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters or Dawn cards, or counter, your leader gains plus 3000 power during this battle. So for only 4 Dawn, I get Hody Jones' effect without needing to play Hody Jones. This is really useful in scenarios when playing Hody Jones is too risky because I have to take my own life, or maybe I don't have the ability to play on-play effects, but I desperately need Hody Jones' effect to impact the game state. So yeah, I definitely wanted to include this card in the deck, and worst case scenario, it's a 3k counter for only 1 Dawn. The next card I am testing this week is probably an obvious one since my deck does contain yellow. It's the 6-cost Bartholomew Kuma. Kuma is a yellow 6-cost 7k power strike character with 1k counter and has the 7 Warlords of the Sea / Revolutionary Army typing. His ability says, on play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then this character gains +2 costs until the end of your opponent's next end phase. And, on opponent's turn, on KO, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Another insane card from OP12. Having this card in the deck is very nice because I can play a bit more aggressive and afford to take life a little more freely, knowing I have access to a way to heal essentially 2 life. Not only that, it's a very annoying character to deal with because of its on KO ability. And finally, to top it off, it has a 7k attacking stat line, which is really good for the meta right now, and at worst, it's a 1k counter. I don't know what Bandai was thinking, but Kuma just has it all. Now, I am only playing 1 copy of this because I sadly only own 1 copy. I was fortunate to pull it in one of my OP12 box, but I can easily see myself cutting other cards to bump this number up. It's just too strong of a card. The final card I added from OP12 that I wanted to test that may or may not be surprising is the 8-cost Mihawk. Mihawk is a green 8-cost 8k power / character with no counter and has the Muggy Kingdom / 7 Warlords of the Sea typing. His ability says blocker, and on play, set up to 4 Dawn cards as active, then you cannot play character cards with a base cost of 7 or more during this turn. So obviously, this is just a great blocker due to its 8k power stat line. It's nice knowing that I'll have some solid defenses whenever I play it on board. More importantly though, is its ability to restand 4 Dawn. Not only do I get a great blocker, I can now use the extra 4 Dawn, which has a lot of possibilities with my leader. The one that I want to emphasize right now though is the 4-cost Hiyori. By playing the Mihawk, restanding 4 Dawn, I can use those 4 Dawns to play Hiyori, activate her ability, cheat out another body, and draw 1 card. And the best target for Hiyori's ability would actually be the 5-cost Momonosuke. which would let me heal a life and establish another blocker alongside Mihawk. So in total, 2 blockers, draw 1 card, and healed 1 life. That's just amazing. Otherwise, I can use those 4 Dons to do other things like maybe play the Izo for Banish and swing 7k with my leader, and then also maybe get a blocker thanks to the Izo. Or even just attach all my Don to my leader and swing with the higher power, or even leave Don up for maybe counter events. So many possibilities, and I have been loving the 8-cost Mihawks thanks to its ability to restand the 4 Don. And that's pretty much it. Here's the full deck list already on screen for you to view again, and you'll be able to find this deck list in the description below. I'll also be putting up my previous deck list from week 5 from OP11 alongside this so you can compare what cards got swapped out. Shout out to Eggman for this deck builder. You can find it on his website at Eggman Events. So how did we do for week 1 of the OP12 meta? We had 23 players, 4 rounds, and I went 2-2. The 1-3 curse has been broken! Here were my matchups. Round 1 was against Red Green Smoker. Round 2 was against Black Yellow Koala. Round 3 was against Purple Black Monkey D. Luffy. And round 4 was against Red Black Kobe. Against Red Green Smoker, I lost. Against Black Yellow Koala, I won. Against Purple Black Luffy, I lost. And against Red Black Kobe, I won. In order to keep this video on the shorter side, I'm not going to review each matchup right now, but I'll be posting all of my matchups, win or loss, with my VOD review following this video, so be sure to check it out. Now, let's talk about what went well, what didn't go well, and what's next for me. What went well? All 3 new cards from OP12 that I added into my deck list for this week felt amazing to play, and I definitely want to keep it in the deck list if possible. The 6-cost Kuma was a really strong mid-game body, and I really liked that I could proactively heal with it compared to something like a Kikunojo. The 8-cost Mihawk provided some much-needed defenses against my opponent's high-power units, while still giving me 4 Dons to extend my plays. And finally, the 1-cost DMG was a really nice addition alongside Hody Jones for me to go aggressive against my opponents since I could rest any of their blockers or Dons with only 4 Don. Additionally, I was also playing slower this week due to this deck list compared to before, and I think it helped me in the long run. Instead of just stacking Don on my leader, I was more focused on making sure to play out cards like 5-cost Momo, 6-cost Kuma, and 8-cost Mihawk, and using my remaining Don to attack with. This helped me maintain a strong defense that later converted into a strong offense. What didn't go well? A lot of my starting hands this time around were very low in counter, which was really concerning since it meant I would struggle with defending my life or my characters. This might be a sign that my deck list is running too many bricks, and that I should reconsider the counter ratios. Although playing a bit slower kept me in the game longer, the downside of this was that I wasn't using as much Don to attack my opponent's life. As a result, I was losing out on a lot of value since I couldn't use my leader ability as often to attach 2 rested Dons to my characters for more pressure. And I couldn't activate some of the effects and triggers in my deck that require my opponent to be at a specific life threshold. And in the games I lost, a big part of it was because I was unable to establish characters in the early to mid game, which put me behind on the back foot with being able to fight on board. As a result, by the time I did put down characters, they were mostly blockers who I couldn't really attack with since I needed them active in order to block with to stay alive. Finally, what's next for me? I actually made it into my LGS Store Championship, and it's happening next week. Of course, I'll be running Green Yellow Yamato for this Store Championship, so this week's locals was actually really important for me to get some in-person testing in with the OP12 cards. And thanks to that, I'll be mainly focusing on making adjustments based on what happened this week, testing out different ratios in order to prep for the Store Championship. And that's gonna do it for week 1 of the OP12 meta. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next VOD reviews, which will be the Store Championship, so I hope you look forward to that. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya!